Alright, so we got another episode of Black Clover this week that many people are going to have mixed opinions on, and to me, to be honest with you, I think the second half of the episode more so kind of like saved this episode, because the first half of the episode was, to me, utterly pointless. It really was. Like, I shit you not, like, it was so boring to me. I mean, I got a few laughs, or maybe chuckles rather than laughs, where we see, Seki in this episode, state blah like every now and then, just somehow the ways on how he uses that, phrase in his sentencing. To me, it was kind of funny, but regarding what was contained within the first half of the episode, to me, it was just boring. I mean, Crunchyroll literally has the episode listed as they were visiting the black market, Asta and the others see an old woman get robbed and Asta goes after the thief. That makes up for a good episode synopsis. So, yeah, regarding the whole, scene, trying to catch the thief and what have you with Asta, like, to me, I honestly thought it was quite boring. I was quite bored with the first half of this episode of Black Clover. Now, the second half of Black Clover is probably what saved the episode for me, because it started to get a little bit more interesting, because we, forget the, perspective of Asta for a second, and we shift on over to the perspective of Yuno, which is something that I've wanted to see for quite a while, because we've mainly been seeing Asta. Well, he is the main character after all, so therefore he is going to get a lot more screen time, but I really wanted to see, Yuno, and what his gang is like, and what exactly, they're going on in their missions, what specific type of missions are they doing, and just how exactly Yuno is progressing as a character within, this new group. And also, giving Yuno some screen time is going to give him a lot more character development, because we're going to learn a little bit more about him. And you know what, I find it kind of ironic in a sense, where we see, episodes with Asta on how just comedic and, ridiculous the episode can actually be. Sure, there are, serious parts in the episode where Asta can get a lot more serious, but more so, whenever we have Asta involved, we have just, comedy that is just repeated, and it just gets kind of boring after a while. While when we finally have episodes with Yuno, just due to his serious personality, stuff can actually get kind of serious, because we actually have an episode in which they're escorting a noble, and apparently this gang tries to gang up on them, from, the noble that they're escorting, and we actually see this whole, fight break out. I mean, it wasn't a long fight, but it was still kind of an interesting fight, especially how Yuno dealt with, that group of individuals who were attacking them. So, I thought that was pretty cool, but going back to the comedy aspects, seriously, I personally have to say this right now. I know Black Clover is a shonen series, but some of its comedy is very lackluster, and it starts to get on my nerves on just how bad it is. Personally, I don't really, find the comedy aspects of Black Clover that funny, and I think Black Clover tries a little too hard to be funny. Hopefully, this turns, down quite a bit, once we actually, progress further along the lines in the episodes, but then again, we are already on the 12th episode, and so far, I haven't really seen Asta mature as a character, or have seen the comedy tone down one bit. But then again, Studio Period is animating this work, and just judging by its pacing with the manga, so far, not so good from what I have heard, and I don't even know if, the rest of this episode was considered filler or not, but I have heard there has been a lot of filler within the anime for Black Clover. But yeah, when it comes down to the second part of this episode, we actually get a little bit more interesting things, or at least we can expect possibly something interesting to happen now that Yuno has entered the fray. We're focusing on his perspective of things, and I'm assuming mainly, in the next few episodes, we are going to be getting, he's going to be getting a lot more screen time and such, just due to the mission that he is on, because it does seem as though this mission is quite of high importance, because I believe the individual that they are escorting is named Salem, and he is a noble after all. However, I don't really know if this individual is, per se, good, because it does seem as though most of the nobles that we have seen throughout this series of Black Clover are very corrupt, and they could turn on you within the blink of an eye like that. So, and to top it all off, we actually see Yuno and the gang stop at Yuno's original village, Asta and Yuno's original village. And this guy says to them that, you know what, we could stay for 1 hour or so, when one of Yuno's companions actually says, we gotta get a move on. Like, right now, we're only stopping here, you know, just for a bit of supplies, you know, just for a little bit. But the individual that they are escorting is like, no, I want to stay here. We can stay here for at least an hour and everything, because he was asking a lot of questions to Yuno beforehand, and if anything, he wants to stay longer to learn more about Yuno, but there could be more ulterior motives right here, and the longer they stay in the village, especially with an individual that they are escorting, they could pose a target to other people who are trying to come after that said individual, which could end up putting the village at stake, as you know, as well as Yuno's family. So that is a thing we have to take into consideration right there. So it does seem as though, you know, when it comes down to whatever possible arc we are heading into now, is going to focus a lot more on Yuno, and could get a lot more interesting, you know, later down the line. And I'll be very surprised if actually we, you know, see some death appear in this series. I mean, we have seen, you know, just, I guess, like, one death, you know, regarding the old guy, you know, in the last couple episodes with Magma. That individual was dead, but we really didn't, you know, get any sort of, like, emotional attachment to that character. But with this, you know, arc right here, this could possibly put Yuno's family at stake. I mean, I'm just making assumptions, though. I really don't know if this will happen, but it'll be quite interesting to see, you know, what happens if, you know, said thing does happen. So yeah, in my personal opinion, this episode was just meh. It was definitely not the best episode that we have had from this series, and I still don't really think we have had a really good episode of the series so far that's made me go like, wow. But that's just me. Maybe it's different for you guys out there. But in my personal opinion, when it comes down to this episode, it was just meh. The first half of this episode was quite boring. I thought it to be utterly pointless. It was stretched out, and when it came down to the second half got a little bit more interesting and possibly saved the episode, you know, of my enjoyment of the episode, just because of the shift of perspective and just how things seem to be progressing. But hopefully, yeah, we will see a little bit more interesting things happen in the future episodes of Black Clover. So, yeah. That's my personal thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this episode. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? How did you feel about the episode? For you manga readers out there, please no spoilers in the comment section. However, just let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that red subscribe button down below, and if you wish to follow me on Twitter as well as my other social media links, the links to that will be in the description down below. With that said, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.